Hey guys, welcome back. Today is day one from zero to hero, and today we are going to be coming up with a plan. So, obviously, before you go on a journey, you set the destination. The first thing we're going to do is envision the perfect life, like figure out what really encompasses the perfect life. So that means we're basically going to write down everything that would go in to a perfect life. Like if I had that perfect life, what would be in it, so to speak. So, got this whiteboard here, and we're going to just write everything down that we want. Okay, so the first thing I think in my perfect life would be money. I need lots of money, I think, would help everything go a lot smoother. So let's just write down, the perfect life. Yeah, just to know what we're focusing on. So first we have money. Second thing I think goes into a perfect life is, a sense of purpose. Basically have something to wake up to. Makes sense. Third thing I'd say, you aren't in any particular order. I'm just brainstorming. The third thing I'd say is having friends. You know, lots of friends to go out with, share my life with. Next, I'd say, having experiential events. Events where I can really just, enrich my life. Like planning trips and stuff like that. So, experiences. Obviously, it's going to require some money. Definitely one that I'd say is in a perfect life, need to get in shape. It's pretty obvious, need to definitely be fit. Uh, yeah, money, sense of purpose, getting in shape, friends, experiences. Another thing we're gonna look at in this channel are strategies and theories of people who've thought about creating this perfect life. So the first thing we're going to look at is Abraham Maslow's self-actualization chart on how to have the perfect life. So basically, it's a pyramid. And you have about 5 sections. At the bottom, physiological needs. The top is safety. Then is belongingness and love. Oh, that's one we could add. Love. Okay. So, love, basically. Then there's esteem. And then self-actualization. So briefly, I'm just going to go over what all these mean. So physiological is basically your absolute basic needs. So that's like food, water, warmth, rest, just being able to survive. And so we're just going to call this, surviving. Okay, pretty simple. I'd say I'd have that covered to the, you know. Then the next one is safety, security, okay. Um, so that's basically making sure you're safe. These are pretty basic. Then belongingness and love. So this is like, having friends and intimacy, basically. And the next one is esteem, and that's basically like prestige and feeling accomplished. Feeling accomplished. And then self-actualization is basically, achieving one's full potential. So, you know, this is achieving one's full potential. Okay, so as you can see here, these are pretty much the elements that go into the perfect life. You see you have money, obviously, covers the first two, security and physiological. If you have money, then you're going to be able to survive. Uh, then the sense of purpose really goes into esteem, self-actualization. Friends and love go into a love category. Experiences goes into, self-actualization, esteem. Getting in shape covers pretty much all of these, definitely encompasses all of them. So, let's break it down. What, how, what does getting money actually mean? So, for this one, I'm going to be looking at a strategy that I've seen a guy named Dan Locke use. He's like a motivational speaker, and like he teaches people how to make their best life, basically. I wouldn't rate him that high on the scale. He's kind of like the Ty Lopez guy, the guy who's like, here in my garage, I have all these knowledge books. He's basically just one of those guys, just like kind of sells his own stuff. But he does say some smart things every now and then. So I'd give him like a 5 or 6 on the motivational speaker scale. Um, but one thing he does say, he says for money, you need to develop a high income, a highly valued talent, basically. So we're going to put that, develop a high valued talent. Preferably one that's in high demand. Um, you know, Preferably something that you like, so it can go into all these. Then you gotta turn it into sources of income. Then turn it into sources of income. Okay. So that gives me a basic map, basically, on what I have to do first. Okay, sense of purpose goes into, having a job that is impactful. So it really ties hand in hand with money, because the job that I choose is going to have to be impactful. So it gives me a sense of purpose, a sense of waking up every day, like a mission, basically. Okay, friends. How are we going to go about making friends? Well, another thing I want to introduce to to this channel is we're going to be reading books every week. So, books are like mentors. You know, they're people who've done the things that you want to do, and they basically wrote down how to do it. So, we're going to be looking at books. Why I bring it up now is for friends, we're going to want to be reading books on how to make friends, basically. Um, I'd say the number one book on how to make friends is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Another thing on how to make friends, we're going to be developing hobbies and going out and basically finding people with shared interests. So, finding people with shared interests. Okay, so now we have all these. Okay, so with friends, basically what I mean by going out and finding people with shared interests, I mean like joining some kind of classes, you know, something to do, something like a group. Um, Basically finding people who share your interests and they want to do what you want to do. That's probably, I mean, I'm not really great at making friends, but that's what I would think is how you would make friends. Uh, okay, so going on to experiences. So, experiences, you know, we just really gotta, obviously, money's gonna be a part of that. But, I guess we're gonna have to, you know, be more on the lookout for events. So, you know, check events. You know, we're just gonna have to be more aware. Maybe we could find some kind of app or something that really brings out events and, you know, really create, like, you know, really shows you what's going on, what to do. Would be helpful. You know, plan trips basically. Okay. Getting in shape. You know, first we're gonna have to eat right. Nutrition is a big one. You know, we're gonna have to look up and develop a nutrition plan. You know, we're gonna look out, maybe learn how to cook. You know, learn to cook. And then obviously the next one is exercising. You know, we're gonna have to come up with a way of exercising. You know, we're gonna have to come up with an exercise plan. You know, I might have to join a gym. Uh, you know, and all of these things can be ways of making friends as well. You know, like the job can be a way of making friends. The sense of purpose can be a way of making friends. You know, experiences can be a way of making friends. Getting in shape, you know, even like working out, maybe make some friends. Really, this is gonna come after, yeah, after we get the things that we can work on. You know, obviously making friends is like it's up to chance kind of. You know, you gotta be, you know, how do you know who's gonna be your friend? You know, but these are definitely things that we can actually work on. So, lastly, love. I mean, once we have all these things covered, you know, I feel like love is gonna be a lot easier to find. Meanwhile, uh, we could learn. You know, we're gonna learn how to, you know, get girls, basically. I mean, I wish I could say it less bluntly, but we're gonna figure it out. I think that might come from books, might come from videos, uh, comes from going out more. I think most of the times that I found love was usually through mutual friends. So I think these two will really come from after gaining the confidence of getting these top four into place. All right, so I think this right now is a pretty good outline of the perfect life. That's really what we're going after. It's only 6 things. It's only 6 things we gotta go after, which is really just 5 things. And then we'll hit that self-actualization is the goal. To hit your full potential. That's what it would really mean to be from zero to hero. And we're just gonna get started on it. So, just as a disclaimer, I want to say as this channel goes by, we're gonna keep constantly reevaluating strategies and finding new strategies and new theories, basically to make the most optimal strategy to rebuild or build your perfect life. From going zero to hero. But as we're going, we're just gonna go and do it as we originally planned to. But if something else comes up, we'll reevaluate. So going off, we outlined what it takes for a perfect life. And going off Abraham Maslow's theory, we're going to work from the bottom of the pyramid to the top of the pyramid. So before we worry about belongingness, friends, and love, and experiences, and trips, and everything like that, and self-actualization, and esteem, and all those things, we're going to first work at the most basic levels, the physiological level, and the safety and security level. So the first thing we're going to need for these is money, right? Because money is going to provide that security. It's going to make sure I have everything I need, and it's going to make everything else go a lot smoother. So first we're going to break down money. As Dan Locke said, first you want to make a lot of money, you want to first develop a high skill talent, a high value talent. Now, I mentioned earlier that I do have a degree in psychology, actually, a minor in business, but this channel is going to actually be applicable to everybody, because whether you have a degree or not, I'm not going to be getting a job with that degree. I mean, it might help, but what I'm going to be focusing on is creating this high valued skill first. So the skill that I think is one, learnable by yourself. All you really need is a laptop to do it, or computer access to internet. But two, I think it's also very high in demand, and it's pretty simple once you break it down. I'm going to be learning coding. I think coding is, the number one skill going into the future to make a lot of money. If you look at all the young billionaires today, they've all really made their money in coding or software. So, it's really an easy skill once you break it down. Just another thing I'm doing that, I like doing, it's a passion of mine, is acting. So I'm going to be doing acting as well. And that's really going to help with making friends too, because it's going to be finding people with shared interests. The key thing to this is I'm going to be going to classes now. Acting costs money. Coding doesn't really cost money. There's a lot of places you can learn to code online. Uh, the website that I'm going to be using to learn coding, first off, basic coding, is a site called edX. edX.org. They offer free classes, and in particular, they offer one free class for coding called by Harvard. Actually, it's called CS 50. So I'm going to be taking this class, and I'm basically going to be devoting a lot of time to it. And in my downtime, I'm going to be learning acting. Obviously, this YouTube channel could be potentially a source of income at some point. So, I'm just gonna classes. So obviously I do want to work on my video production skills. Hopefully I can create better content and create better, like editing wise, be able to do that better. I really hope this channel shows a transformation from these basic videos to something more and something awesome. That's really going to be a key aspect of going from zero to hero. Um, I'm really interested in photography as well. Obviously, I'm going to need a camera to do that. I don't really have a professional camera yet. So obviously I would need to get a camera, and that's going to take money. So that's why I'm starting coding first. Hopefully I can get a coding job, make some money, put that into acting classes, make some friends, maybe catch a lucky break, make a lot of money. These both go into, YouTube. I have more money to get a camera, which will be better video production skills. Maybe get better software, become better at editing. And then photography, I just really like photography. Yeah. Another thing that I like to do is music. I know a lot of people may not be musically gifted, but I really enjoy making music. I do have a SoundCloud. I might put a link in the description, but music actually, believe it or not, takes a lot of money to make. You need to pay for production, you need to pay for the software, you need to pay for promotion of it, otherwise no one's going to hear it. So really, it's going to go coding, acting, YouTube, then photography, then music. Music, it's going to take a lot of money before I can make decent music. See it one last time. So basically what I would say is hone in on the things that interest you, and identify what about those things can you develop a high value talent with. Then just put your all into it, and maybe hopefully pick some things that are kind of related, like all these things are sort of related. Acting, YouTube, photography, all really goes hand in hand together. Um, Coding is just something I think is a high value skill. If you want to make money and you don't really have any other prospects for anything else, it's a high demand skill. Lots of people need coders. Pretty much everyone needs a coder these days. Um, so yeah, but just identify what you can do. One of the things about rebuilding your life or building your life, persistency and consistency is key. So you want to create a schedule so that you can follow it, and that's really how you're going to see your progress, by being persistent and consistent. Because if you just do a lot one day and then kind of slack off the rest of the time, you're never really going to see real progress. It's really that consistency. One of the things that is going to help break up the monotony of it is a technique called the Pomodoro technique. Here's another strategy. So the Pomodoro technique basically says work 20 minutes, take a break for 5 minutes. And there's an app to help you do that. It's called the Forest app, which I would recommend. I have about 1 tree planted already. So that's like a 7-minute tree. So really, starting out from 0 here. I'm not saying this is going to be easy, but I don't think it'll be hard either. If we break it down into simple steps, if we follow the best techniques, we follow the best strategies, I think it's very achievable. So that concludes what we have for now. Basically, I'm going to start just putting in these hours. So the first thing we're going to be focusing on is money and safety and security. We're going to make sure that we're secure, we're going to have everything in order, everything we need, and that's going to come from money. Then we're going to move on to esteem, and we're going to move on to love and belongingness. We're going to be going out there making friends. We're going to be, maybe showing how to pick up girls. And we're going to be planning trips. So we have a lot in store. But first, we need to make the money. That's probably what most people are worried about. That's probably the number one thing that, they say money can't buy happiness, but it can buy those first 2 levels towards happiness. So I think a lot of people overlook that. I also wanted to add, we're going to be reading books every week to continuously optimize the strategies. So we're going to add that to the schedule. I think basically reading a book is going to be the last thing I do every day, just right before bed. So maybe about 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day right before bed, help me fall asleep. The first book that I'm going to be doing a book report video on each book. Each book is going to be focused on self improvement, betterment, uh, creating strategies. The first book that I think is probably the most important book, I actually have read it a couple times, so I'd say a bunch of times, but it's never hurts to read something again, especially a book this important, I think. So the first book is the called The Game of Life. And how to play it. So it's a book by Florence Scovel Shinn. That right here. So, basically, this book is a book that was written about 100 years ago, and it was at the start of the New Thought movement. Basically, people who used a mixture of psychology and religion, and basically like life coach exercises to create a game plan on how to live your best life, how to live your perfect life. Yeah, so that's where we're at for now. Day one.